Today, breaking news. The Middle East is once again at the center of global tension. Missiles, drones, and airstrikes are lighting up the skies as the confrontation between Iran, Israel, and the United States escalates. The question everyone is asking is simple but terrifying. Could this conflict spiral into a much larger war? The crisis intensified after a major joint military operation carried out by Israel and the United States against targets inside Iran. Hundreds of military sites, missile bases, and defense systems were reportedly struck in multiple Iranian cities, including Tehran and Isfahan. The goal of the operation was clear: weaken Iran's missile capabilities and stop what Washington and Tel Aviv describe as a growing strategic threat. Wikipedia, but the response from Iran came quickly. Within hours, waves of ballistic missiles and drones were launched toward Israel and several U.S. positions across the region. Air raid sirens echoed across Israeli cities, forcing millions of civilians into bomb shelters as missile defense systems scrambled to intercept incoming threats. Reuters, the exchange of strikes has turned the Middle East into one of the most dangerous flashpoints in the world. Iran says the attacks are retaliation for what it calls illegal aggression against its territory. Meanwhile, Israel and the United States argue that the strikes were necessary to stop Iran's growing missile and nuclear capabilities. The two sides now appear locked in a dangerous cycle of escalation, but the battlefield is not limited to just 3 countries. Across the region, the conflict is spreading. Missile strikes and retaliatory attacks have been reported in multiple locations, including Gulf states and strategic military bases. Some Iranian missiles and drones have also targeted areas where American forces are stationed, dramatically raising the stakes of the conflict. PBS, and there's another layer to this crisis. Iran is not alone. Groups allied with Tehran across the region have begun to react as well. In Lebanon, the militant group Hezbollah has launched attacks toward northern Israel, opening another potential front in the war. Israel has responded with strikes in Lebanon, signaling that the conflict could quickly widen beyond Iran itself. Wikipedia military analysts warn that the region is now dangerously close to a multi-front war. The strategic importance of the Middle East means that any escalation could have global consequences. The region sits at the center of global energy supply, and major shipping routes like the Strait of Hormuz are critical for international oil transport. If those routes are disrupted, the impact could be felt in energy markets and economies around the world. Meanwhile, governments across the globe are watching closely. The United Nations has called for immediate de-escalation, warning that the conflict could spiral into a wider regional war if diplomacy fails. Several countries have also begun evacuating their citizens from areas considered high risk. Airspace closures and flight disruptions have already been reported as tensions continue to rise. Another major concern is the possibility of cyber warfare and proxy battles spreading across the region. Modern conflicts are no longer fought only with missiles and fighter jets. Cyber attacks on infrastructure, energy systems, and communication networks could also play a major role in this escalating crisis. For now, both sides appear determined to continue their military operations. Iran insists it will respond to every strike, while Israel says it will not stop until it eliminates what it considers an existential threat. The United States has also increased its military presence in the region, sending additional naval forces and air defense systems to protect its bases and allies. This show of force has raised fears that the conflict could escalate even further. Some experts warn that if more countries become involved, whether directly or through alliances, The confrontation could grow into one of the largest conflicts the Middle East has seen in decades. But the situation remains fluid. Diplomatic channels are still open, and international leaders are pushing for negotiations to prevent further escalation. Whether those efforts succeed could determine the future stability of the entire region. For now, one thing is clear. Missiles continue to fly over the Middle East, and the world is watching closely as Iran, Israel, and the United States move deeper into a crisis that could reshape global geopolitics. The coming days may decide whether this confrontation ends through diplomacy or expands into a far larger war.